This programme is brought to you by vinny.co.uk.
Welcome back. Welcome to Free Sports Champions League pool here. We've got one more match tonight from group number 2 as Aaron Davies has the chance to qualify through to the knockout stages. Big match for him coming up, Simon. He's been super so far.
He has. He's been brilliant. The first three, 4 frames he played tonight, he was a little bit off colour, but once he found his form, he's been very good. Second half of his first match and all of his second match. If he continues that, it's going to be a really tough match for Oli to try and stop anything from happening. But you know, there's all the pressures on Aaron. There's no pressure on Oli here. He knows he cannot make it through, so it's going to be a fascinating little matchup.
And just talk to me a little bit quickly before we get going about the psychology for Oli as well, because we've seen this, we saw it in the last game with Andy Cragg, a little bit despondent, a few loose shots with the lack of care, I suppose, is probably the way to say it. But I think for Oli, he'll be a little bit annoyed with himself for how he's sort of played tonight. He's a better player than what he's shown us, and I think, you know, he'll really want the win to sort of just say, you know, I was in the mix here as well, you know.
I think he's coming from the mindset where he loves being out there. He loves being centre of attention. He loves being on the TV table. And okay, so he's not going to make it through tonight, but this is going to be his last match on the TV table, and he's going to want to entertain and put on a show, and he's really going to want to win this match. So he's going to be trying hard, I'm sure.
Yeah, we can't wait for it. Aaron Davies versus Oli Bale is next, and a chance for Aaron Davies, as we say, to qualify through to those knockout stages. There he is, the man they call Screech. And we're really looking forward to this one. If Oli can find his form, it's got the potential to be a great match, because both of them have a lovely way about them around the table. It'll be Aaron to break first. If he can get his break going, it'll be ominous, because his break has deserted him at times tonight. He's still managed to put together some fantastic performances.
Oh, much better. Deserves to make a ball this time. He caught them brilliantly. On more than one occasion tonight, he's hit the break really poorly and got what he deserved, where this time he catches them really well. Look at the explosion of the pack. Most of the ball's coming up to the top half of the table, but he's still dry.
Yeah, that's just unlucky. The joys of being a pool pro sometimes.
Red balls
An absolutely brilliant shot. Objectively better in every single way than your last, and it doesn't quite give the same result. Only then goes for reds. Got a couple of reds glued to yellows. His first problem is he's missed the pot.
Well, that's going to annoy him, because that was actually a really good opportunity. It looks more awkward than it actually is. There was a sort of half a decent pattern out there for him to take those out, and straight pot to the corner. Expected him to make that one.
Yeah, you just see early at the top of his shot there, I think remonstrating with himself. He'll be frustrated. He'd have been decently backed, I'd imagine, at the start of tonight. Only a draw and a defeat to his name. You'll feel he hasn't done himself really justice to what he can do.
Yeah, I think that's probably fair. Couldn't get himself in front in that opening match. They ended up drawing against Andy Cragg. Had the best of the opportunity in the deciding frame, but not enough time to take on a clearance, and he was never really in his match, in his second match. John was always in front. A couple of bad missed balls from Ole, and yeah, he was never able to really get going, so he will be annoyed with how he's played tonight, that's for sure. Probably being critical, he's come back an inch too far. Path of the cue ball's going towards the black. If he screws it, he'll probably finish a little bit too high on the yellow in the centre of the pocket, but if he's anywhere near straight, he can still drop it in to play onto the yellow at the top of the table, but then the problem becomes further down the line on how do you get to the black. So if he was an inch less on that last shot, it would have been absolutely routine.
Gordon's extension. Figure it out.
Tried to screw into the cushion with some right-hand side to spin it down the table. Does not come far enough, so he's going to take the one at the top of the table first. That's lovely control.
Yeah, it is, isn't it?
Just doesn't have to do any work with his last positional shot because of those last two shots he's just played.
I've watched Aaron a lot this year, and when he's at his best, for me, one of the best players to watch. Just really does make the game look so easy at times. And he's 1-0 up in a match that he just needs a point from. He could draw in this one and still top the group. He'll want to win it, of course. These are the results that we've had so far this evening. Some great performances, in particular, I think. John Sullivan against Oli Bale was in magnificent form.
How many seconds?
And Aaron against Andy. The 2-4-1s
Can you have 5 seconds
were terrific
back on
individual
the match clock,
performances.
Yeah, no, definitely. You know, it's been good to see John play some more, some of the more, a bit more like we've seen him in the past in outside of free sports events. He's been disappointing in the previous events we've seen him on free sports, so it's been nice to see him get going. But you know, it's tough when Aaron's playing as well as he is. Ole wanted to put on a show in this last match and showcase what he can do. The way that first frame went will not make him feel any better, because that was a poor miss pot to the corner when he had the first opportunity, and it was a good one as well.
When it restarts, it will show the 10 seconds extra. Okay.
It's all right, 24 seconds.
Pardon?
It's all right, 24 seconds.
There's 24
Just a delay out there at the moment. Referee's having a word with a couple of players.
Yeah, I think just some discussion over how much time should be left on the clock. The clock does stop when the referee is racking the balls.
What do you mean, though? Just 1 second. Shall we carry on? Yeah, sorry. It's a very fast break.
Okay, looks like we're just about ready to go.
Oli Bale to break. Trailing 1 frame to 0.
That's the break for man who's a bit frustrated.
Yeah, good powerful break, but not the split he wanted. Problems on either colour set, whichever way he wants to go. Bit of a cluster around the black. Yellows are a tricky option because of the yellow at the top of the table, although he develops the one to the top left with his first shot, so the only problem ball he has left is now the black, and he has good balls to try and develop the black with. Either the one in the middle of the table or either of the two to the bottom right. He's going to try and move the black in this next shot. And he's done that nicely.
Yeah, it's a good chance now for Oni to get himself on the board. Might just settle him a little bit as well.
He's annoyed because the cue ball's gone too far. He took on the harder pot to the top left because he wanted to leave this one over the bottom right as his last ball, because it's the easiest ball just to drop on the black with. Came too far off across the table, but shouldn't be a problem to get onto the black from this ball. Can just stun it in and accept a harder black, or can try and get to the other side of the red.
Yeah, nicely played. Early Bale is indeed on the board. It's one apiece.
And that will make John Sullivan feel a little bit happier, keep him in the tournament. Nice to see Oli with that breaking dish though. Good break. The first shot really opened things up. 2 problem areas on the table. It opens up one with his first shot, and 2 shots later he opens up the other one and then makes no mistake.
So a reminder of our format. Race to 4 frames, 20-minute match clock, 20-second shot clock. Whichever comes first. 0 on the clock or a race to 4 will take the result. Got some fantastic groups coming up after the new year. Some great work already done in the first 2 groups here. Josh Kane winning Group 1. Group 3, right at the start of the new year, got Phil Harrison, former world champion, up. Can't wait to watch that.
Yeah, a couple more great, well, we've got 6 more great groups to come, but the big name in the Group 3 is going to be Phil Harrison. We've seen him on Free Sports once before. He played in a 4-1. Didn't go his way, actually. It was the 4-1 that Aaron Davies ended up winning. He beat Phil Harrison in his first round match in that 4-1. Phil showed some signs of his, prowess in that match, but ultimately a couple of mistakes cost him. But it's going to be fascinating to see him on Free Sports once again, and he's up against a very tough group. Sam Bircher, Rob Chiltern and Zach Shepherd, fantastic players in their own right, and it's going to be a challenge for Phil to try and come through that group.
And in the second half of the draw, which will come up in January, and at the beginning of February, some really top players just get carries on with some great names on there, and ends with Mick Hill looking to make his way through to the knockout stages in the first week of February. So then Aaron has the break, and we're looking to repeat what he did with his first, only maybe making a ball. Couldn't have hit it better, really.
Black close.
That'll do. Nearly got a golden break as well, you're very right. But our last pool on the on Free Sports in the year 2020, Simon, can you believe it? What a dreadful year it's been in so many different ways. But what a blessing it's been for the sport of pool to be able to have had so many matches on the telly in the end. It really has been making the best of a bad situation, I guess you'd say.
Yeah, absolutely, and a lot of credit has to go to Free Sports and the broadcasters and the organisers. That Free Sports have been a big supporters of pool since they first got on board 2.5, 3 years ago, and when a lot of big tournaments have had to be cancelled because of, and quite rightly so as well, because of COVID and social distancing and lockdown rules and all that sort of stuff. Free Sports have done everything they can to keep things going and bring pool and put tournaments and events on the telly, and a lot of credit has to go to them, and thank them for their continued support, and look forward to seeing more and more pool on Free Sports over the next few years.
It was a strange feeling. I remember that first time we came back after lockdown, sometime in the summer. Very strange just to be back at work initially for myself. I don't know if it was the same for you, but
yeah, it was. Yeah,
it was great to have the pool back, and we have in a year where we've seen very few sort of what you'd call mainstream tournaments. The shootout, showdowns and the Super Series that we had in the summer have yielded some absolutely marvellous moments.
Yeah, and we've got to see a lot of players that we may not have seen as well if it wasn't for COVID and the shootout showdowns. We've got to see a really nice range of players, some more unknown players, and some players getting their first opportunity on TV, and it's been fascinating to watch and be a part of. Another great visit to the table for Aaron, just so clinical.
Yeah, it's been top draw, hasn't it? Really good. Not a lot you can do about that if you're Early Bale, but just sit back and and admire. I think Aaron's put his hand up by way of an apology here. I think probably for the way that this dropped in. But, you know, you make your own luck, I think, with shots like that. If you're playing well, they tend to drop. If you're not, then they don't.
Yeah, it's one of those pool player things. You see a lot of hands of apology, and part of me thinks you should just carry on and just accept it. It is what it is, but it's always been one of those things in Q Sports.
We were mentioning it has been a crazy year, 2020. We've talked a little bit about what we've managed to witness, what we've managed to combat the COVID protocols with. What's been some of your favourite moments from shootout pool in particular in 2020?
We saw plenty of drama in the shootout showdowns, but for me the shootout series, the event we had straight after the first lockdown, I thought was absolutely fascinating. We got to see some of the greats of the game playing in shootout pool, which was great to see. For me, some of the performances in that first round from Aaron himself, from Jordan Shepherd, and from Mark Farnsworth were absolutely brilliant and breathtaking at times. But the way that Gareth Hibbert in his first shootout event managed to sort of announce himself in the shootout world was absolutely brilliant. Both him and Alex O'Donoghue were absolutely phenomenal in that tournament and in that final, which was dramatic till the end. And the clearance that Gareth took out at the end of that tournament will live long in the memory because it was absolutely special.
Yeah, it really was. Completely agree. I've been lucky enough to watch an awful lot of pool over the last few years, and that was one of the finest clearances that I've seen, and with the circumstances surrounding it as well, it did make it an extra little bit special. Had some fantastic shootout showdown matches as well. Never quite forget Matt Lawrenson going in off after potting black.
Yeah, that was...
sure he hasn't.
No, it was a lot of money to lose on and in off the black, that's for sure, and yeah, He'll have been feeling that one. That was the sort of drama we were seeing in the showdowns. Lovely little shot that from Oli. Just really had to dig into the white to control it, and he's landed perfectly. Just drift up the table for his last ball now. Oh, he didn't quite catch that one. I think he's just about gone far enough.
It's been an absolutely rapid clearance. Where's the white? Oh no. Oh no. Cardinal sin.
Yeah, it's one of those where he's trying to get perfect position. If he accepts harder position, you know, accept the white, you know, a foot further up the table, he's never going to go in off, and you know he's going to back it. You know, you'd back himself to make that pot down the rail from a foot further away.
Well, we talked about Aaron Davies' percentage play tonight. There's a good example of it. He's never afraid to take that option if he feels it's the right one to play. Doesn't get as much of a benefit, I'd say, in this form of the game. Obviously, in black ball rules, a shot and a visit can be game defining, but don't get that extra layup in this rule set. He's got to just go with cue ball in hand if he does get the miss of the snooker.
It just shows that you can still have that, you know, tactical way of playing. He had a ball on a cushion. He decided to develop that whilst getting a snooker. The black being welded to another cushion, nowhere near a pocket. He felt even if Oli, and he expected Oli to get out of it, he wasn't going to pot it. And the same again here. Odds aren't on him clearing up, so plays another snooker.
And he gets to put the cue ball wherever he likes and go about the clearance.
This time I do expect him to go for the clearance because he can put the cue ball between the two yellows at the bottom of the table and clear those two out first of all, and then work himself back up to the black, and there is nothing in the way.
Doesn't like that idea.
No, he doesn't like that idea. Slightly surprised by that, but it's actually, when you look at, he's seeing the visit all the way through. I'm looking at the two hardest balls at the bottom of the table being the trickiest, so get on them early. He's backing himself to land there off this one, and actually the one by the black, now he's got that out the way, he knows he can land anywhere on the yellow to the top right, and he's guaranteed to just drop it in, and he's on the yellow to the top left, and then it's simple onto the black. So he's seeing the whole finish all the way through.
don't understand how he sharked all those poor guys on mini clip all over the summer at this rate. Have to make sure we ask Aaron Fat there.
At this level, when you get to Aaron's level, the difference is shot selection and choice of shot and execution. Then is obviously a part of it. You've still got to execute the shots, but he's now picked a route here where every shot he's just played here has been simple. That's down to his pattern that he's picked out.
He's been in lethal form in this match. Another fantastic clearance from Aaron Davies. 3-1 and 1 away from securing his place in the knockout stages. The only way that could not happen now is if Oli goes and wins 3 on the spin to win 4-3. He's almost there.
Yeah, he sat fairly comfortably in his chair. Mind you, he's been sat fairly comfortably in his chair ever since he got all square in his first match against John and then responded with those 2 finishes from the break. He's been brilliant tonight. He came into tonight as the bookies had him as a very strong favourite. I wouldn't have thought he was as strong as the bookies had him, but he was definitely a decent favourite for tonight's group. But there's one thing being a favourite and there's another thing performing the way he has and making sure, and he's been brilliant.
Yeah, I think you can probably say that the bookies got it absolutely spot on with the way they marked it up. Aaron has looked by far and away best player tonight. I think you're right. I thought this could well be closer, but been so impressed with what Aaron's been able to do, particularly in his last 2 matches. A little while to get going against John, but against Andy and here against Oli, he's been absolutely brilliant.
Gets the black moving again, but nothing drops. He'll want to see his break improve, assuming he does go on to win this group. He'll want to see the break improve going into the second stage of this competition. He won't do it unless he absolutely has to, but I'd love to see Oli just dropping a couple of one-handed shots just for me. For those that weren't with us earlier, I mentioned that he is the greatest player playing one-handed that I've ever seen. I'm sure there's...
He's won matches against good players, just playing with the queuing arm, no bridge hand.
Yeah, almost like a dart. He said he played an exhibition. I was chatting to him earlier about it. He played an exhibition and he made 7 straight clearances from the break, one-handed. It's just incredible. It really is.
To be able to do that tonight, just 2-handed.
Yeah.
One of those for him. But he has had a couple of fantastic clearances in this match. Brilliant break and dish to make it 1 apiece. And he's going to keep Aaron honest here. 3-2. Rapid clearance from Oli Bale. Great work from him. He's going to make Aaron go and win it. And Oli with the break next. Maybe not all over.
Well, it's never over, is it, until it's over, but the time is starting to be against John Sullivan and Oli Bale here. I guess with it being Oli's break next, if he can find a ball and have another quick fire finish from the break, then there will be enough time to play that decider. Yeah, Aaron still doesn't look particularly flustered in his chair, does he? Looks very happy. Our referee tonight, Vizresco, making sure the balls are absolutely perfect. Really important to make sure all the balls are touching so that they break open properly. So it's worth the extra second or 2 to make sure they're right.
He really swung the kitchen sink at that one, didn't he, Oli Bale? And he's been rewarded. What a break this is.
He's broke very well in this match, actually.
Red
taking
ball's in
chances of
play.
his own break, and this is another fantastic break. Delicate shot in the middle now, but if it drops in, everything else is in the open. Slightly dangerous playing it off the red, but he played it at a pace where he knew he wasn't going to move the red too far. So it was good control.
It's really on for him here, and there's still plenty of time left in this match. Rolly to really cause an upset here. May not be all over. This clearance should be relatively routine. Don't want to talk it in. We'll see what can happen with that tonight, but
You've got form tonight.
yeah, I've been something of the Reaper, haven't I? But it should be very, very simple from here on in. From early Bale. This is going to be 3-3. 3-3 with 4 minutes left. And Aaron Davies does have the break. But should he break dry, it may not be in his hands. And only Bale could force a shootout. John Sullivan is sat in the practice area watching this, and he has just perked right up.
Things have got very interesting. We were sort of almost wrapping the group up there at 3-1 ahead. We were sort of talking about how well Aaron's done tonight, but all of a sudden he has got work to do. He has to win this frame. There is plenty of time left. This frame is, unless it's very tactical, is unlikely to not end. And Aaron has to win it, otherwise he is going into a 6 red shootout. That was back-to-back, very quick finishes from the break from Oli. Reverse dish, break dish in very quick fashion. In fact, he's had 3 finishes from the break in the match.
He's turned up. We talked about it, that he would want to really show up in this match, and this is what we thought we'd see from Oli earlier on tonight. This is the ability that he's got. It has taken till the last match of the night for us to see it. Again, same thing we spoke about with John a little bit earlier, maybe a little bit of frustration that he didn't show it a little bit earlier, but having done it now, he's really thrown the cat amongst the pigeons.
Yeah, he really has. He'll be so frustrated with himself driving back home tonight, to the fact that he took so long to, find his form tonight. Because when you see him play like this, it really is excellent to watch, and it's very quick as well, the way he goes about it. He has those little shots where he plays balls off balls and open things up and making it as easy as possible for himself.
Frame number 7.
Aaron has been breaking poorly
3
tonight.
frames all. Time running.
He'll want to find his best break right now.
Massive break this, in the context of the group.
Oh, how's he not made a
come
ball?
up dry, and Aaron Davies can't believe it. Well, only Bale. Are things about to get very, very interesting? Aaron Davies, quite rightly, cannot believe a ball was not dropped there.
And you're absolutely right. John Sullivan is sat out there somewhere, and he would have really perked up. Although he won't be happy with that shot. Ole was trying to develop the yellow on the right-hand side there, the one just above the red, above the right centre pocket, and he's missed it. And that's now a problem. It's hard to get back to that area. Might be able to do it here, maybe. I think the red on the brake line's probably in the way to come on and off the top cushion into it. The longer he leaves it, the harder it's going to get, though. I think this red on the brake line's a problem. In fact, he's not playing the ball, I thought.
Oh, has he got an angle now? The other at the top of the table that he's moved.
No, I think the red on that brake line's still a problem. It's gone too far. I just don't see how he gets to that ball. And if he doesn't get to it to develop it, I don't see how he can make it. Oh, off the black.
Oh, and you see the clench of the fist. Is it still open for him? Has he got a shot? He deserves one.
That was as played as well, Froley. Knew he couldn't come round that black, so he's played into it to get the white tracking up the side of the table. That was brilliant.
Oh, trying to get something out of the box of tricks there. It wasn't to be. That's unfortunate, because the shot to open up that yellow was magnificent.
Well, it hasn't left Aaron on much, I don't think. That really was a great effort to open things up. Not sure this top one goes. Can you see the one just closest to the pocket? No, not to pot it. Oh, with a lovely double. Now they're all there for him.
Remember, Aaron doesn't need to win this match. If the clock runs down, a draw is good enough for him to qualify. Just needed not to lose to avoid the shootout against John Sullivan. So for John Sullivan to have any chance of qualifying to force that shootout, he needs a miss from Aaron Davies or a foul. That is the only thing that will turn the table over and stop Aaron Davies from qualifying. Just needs to not make a mistake, and he has not made many of them tonight.
Yeah, and the match clock's going to start to really get against John as well, and Oli, because if Aaron was to miss, and that's a big if, Oli would still have to pot 3 balls. We're down to a final minute.
Oh, it kept us intrigued, it kept us interested, kept Aaron Davies honest. And only Bale was fractions off, causing havoc in the final frame of the final match of the night. "34 seconds left. Aaron Davies just making sure he's going to use as much of the clock as he can. Absolutely the right thing to do. He almost had his chance at qualification snatched away from him, and this will be almost a warning to all the players watching who are yet to compete in this competition. Absolutely nothing in this tournament is a given. Aaron Davies almost played perfectly tonight, in this match especially, and he very nearly went on to lose it, but in the end he has won it, and he wins through as well. That will do it for Aaron Davies. He is qualified, and he will enter the knockout stages. A big relief, as you can see, for him, and we'll speak to the winner of tonight's group when we come back. Well, what a night it's been here at the Champions League pool on Free Sports. 6 fantastic matches have been with us, and at the end of it all, it was Aaron Davies who stood tall. 3 wins out of 3. It seemed for a moment in that last match as if Oli Bale was about to cause an upset and force John Sullivan and Aaron to face off in a shootout, but eventually Screech got himself over the line. You could say, Aaron, you were saved by the bell. It was a really good night for you, wasn't it? It was a tough one. You had to work really well and really hard, but how pleased are you to get over the line?
I'm absolutely buzzing to get over the line there. The first game against John, I mean, he just missed a couple of balls and the things have gone my way. And then the last game, I've not even had a chance to win it until the decider, because he's done 3 dishes, Ollie.
What are you thinking when you're 3-1 up? Because myself and Simon on commentary, we're sort of thinking another great performance, looking really smooth, see you in the next round sort of thing. And before you know it, the next time you have a shot at the table, it's to almost keep yourself winning the tournament.
Yeah, 3-1, I'm just thinking, if I pot a ball off the break, that's it. I think I just need another shot that runs like another 2-3 minutes off the clock. And then obviously I did a dry break, they were all there, and then they were all there on his break, and then I'm thinking, oh my God, I have to win the last frame now. Yeah,
and he had a chance, didn't he?
He did, and all that shot he's played where he's screwed off the black to open his other ball up. I couldn't see from where he was queuing up. I just thought he's going to be on a ball here, and then luckily he wasn't.
It's a game of fine margins, isn't it? Yeah. How much have you enjoyed the tournament so far? It's one that seems to have caught the imagination a little bit in the pool world. Some brilliant players playing in it, and now you're into the knockout stages. You might see a few more.
Yeah, for me, I think it's a really good tournament to be part of this. A lot of top players, obviously 10 grand to the winner, which is not often you see that in the pool at the moment. So to get to the last 8 of this, really looking forward to it. Going to be some good players in it.
Yeah, absolutely. We can't wait to watch you in those knockout stages. Congratulations on the win tonight.
Cheers.
Well, there goes Aaron Davies. What a win for him, a fantastic night for him, and we'll see him in the new year when it comes to the next stages. We still have loads more for you, but that does, as me and Simon were talking about, wrap things up for the year 2020 in the pool world here on Free Sports. Groups 3 and 4 will be with you in the new year. We're back on January 4th with a fantastic lineup. We can't wait to join you then. From the Sport of Pool, though, on Free Sports, from Monday nights, from myself and Si, and from everyone here at the Players Lounge in Newcastle under Lyme, we hope you have a great Christmas, a fantastic New Year, and we'll see you on January 4th when we resume the Champions League pool. Good night.